In about 1960, we became aware of Father Kentenich. We lived near a school where the Schoenstatt sisters taught, and my father was an active member of the Legion of Mary, and he visited the sisters. He wanted to convince them to join the Legion of Mary, and they tried to have him and my mother join Schoenstatt. And one day they invited my parents to come and meet Father at the Monday night talks, which he gave to the couples in Milwaukee for many years. And so they went one day, one evening, and they were introduced to Father Kentenich. And my father wasn't really taken with Father Kentenich immediately. In fact, he told Father Kentenich when he was introduced, he said, if I have to choose between the Legion of Mary and Schoenstatt, I'll take the Legion of Mary. And the sister that translated for Father was very horrified that my father would speak to Father Kentenich. But my father didn't know who Father Kentenich was. He didn't know what Schoenstatt was, but he knew what the Legion of Mary was. But immediately, Father started talking to my parents' hearts. Because my father, being very active in the Legion of Mary, was gone many evenings of the week, out in the neighborhoods, out at the parish, in the prayer meetings. And my mother was home alone with 6 to 7 children, raising the children by herself. So it was causing a tension in their marriage. And it was at this time then they met Father. And Father knew that. Father could read their hearts of the problem they were having. And his words to my father, he said in the meetings, he said, of Father's first apostolate is his family, his wife and children. And that touched my father's heart. And immediately within 6 months, my parents made the covenant of love and the blank check. They were just taken by Father. The message that he had for marriage and family life went deep into them. We didn't have a car, so we'd walk 2 miles to the shrine, and he would sing with us, and we'd play games along the way. We'd go to Mass, and then afterwards we'd go to Father's office. And this is what I do remember this. We'd knock on the door, and Father would invite us into his office. And as you walk in the door, there's a little hallway outside his office. You go to the office, and then his bedroom is in the back. There was a little hallway and a little table sitting in the hallway with a couple chairs. And if there were children, he'd sit us children down at the chairs. And then he would disappear into the kitchen. And a minute or so later, he would come back with anything he could find in the kitchen to eat. It could be fruit, it could be potato chips, it could be a pancake, whatever. And he would sit the children down, and we could eat. And then he and my father would go into Father Kentenich's office, close the door, and my father would go to confession and have spiritual direction. And he did this for every morning for over 3 years. And I remember the day. It was a beautiful day. It was in May of 1963. It was a beautiful sunny day, walking through fields with trees. And at some point, I was up near the front of the line with Father, and Father took my hand. And we were walking for a while. And that was the last, I don't recall that moment, but the reason I know about that moment is there's this picture of this young 8-year-old boy, at the time I was, walking with Father through this near some trees and some fields. And we didn't know that picture existed for many years. And a number of years later, my parents are in the Family Institute, and along with my wife's family, her parents were in the Institute, and they were having their annual meeting out here at the shrine. And the priest from Germany came to give them their retreat, and he had this photograph, and he put it in the front of the room, and he was going to talk on childlikeness, the relationship of father and child. And my mother took one look at it and said, I know that boy. And that was the picture of me and Father that has gone around the world now.